Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. Hey everyone, just dropping a trigger warning for this episode. It contains some murder and some mutilation.
Yeah, and a little bit of sexual content and some cannibalism. So it's all a bit graphic.
Yeah.
If that's too much, no worries. We still love you.
Still love you. Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the only podcast talking about cannibalism and castration this week. I'm pretty sure that we're the only ones talking about this story that we're going to talk about. Hi, I'm Jill Chacha, and I am with the exquisite post-birthday girl, Marissa Riley.
Thank you so much. Feeling extremely exquisite today.
Good.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Less exquisite than yesterday, which was the post-birthday hangover. Mm-hmm. Apologies to Jill.
That's fine. I helped.
Yes.
I helped. What do you call it? Enabled? That's it. That's the word.
Enabled, and then was nice to me all day the next day when no one should have been nice to me.
Oh, you were fine.
Was I okay?
You're fine.
Okay.
You were totally fine.
But
you know.
Yeah. I am pumped for this episode though, because I love any story involving a cannibal.
It's it's a modern story. It is
a modern
cannibal story. I've had the hardest time titling this episode. This is episode 016. Jesus, we've made it this far.
We've made it this far.
This is our Sweet 16.
Ah,
my God, takes me back to 001. That was a night.
That was a night.
But yeah, this story, it's not old-fashioned cannibalism. We're talking modern cannibalism here.
I'm excited to learn the difference between old-fashioned eating people and modern eating people.
It will be very apparent.
Okay.
I think when we get into the details, lots of what the fucks, lots of course this happens in nowadays.
Excellent.
Ish, I guess. So should we begin, I guess?
We should.
We should.
We should. I'm doing a Mr. Burns excellent fingers right now.
Yes. You're leaning in. She's leaning in heavily.
I'm leaning in. Pumped.
Tell
me everything.
Okay. So today's story takes place in a time when the internet was a budding little thing.
Oh, no.
And no one expected the horrible fruits it could possibly bear.
Yeah.
Itty-bitty internet baby. Oh. Unfortunately, for the people of a little German town called Rottenburg, they learned...
Sounds like... I'm sorry, I'm already stopping it. That sounds like I don't know, someone was asked if you made up a fake identity, like on a date or something, you're like, I'm from Germany, and they're like, I love Germany, where in Germany? And you're like, Rottenburg... Schnitzelheisen.
You too?
I love it there. Have you been to Smith's? And then you're just like, oh, what have I done? Das Smith's? So, anyways, back to the story.
As far as I know, it's Rottenburg is real. And the people of Rottenburg, they're real. And they learned the lesson of how horrible the internet could be in the strangest and perhaps the most shocking way possible.
Oh, no.
Now, we're talking about back in 2001.
Oh, that was so long ago.
So long ago. I don't even know the person I was back in 2001, but this story takes place in 2001. And one of those residents was a 42-year-old computer repair technician named Armin Maywes.
Okay. Armin.
Yeah, Armin.
Armin.
There you go. His mother passed away from cancer in 1999 and inherited, I know, that's the only sad thing about this story. Okay, so no more awes for Armin after this.
Not the eating people part.
That's when it all, the awes end there.
Okay.
So his mother passed away from cancer in 1999, and he inherited a massive 44-room farmhouse.
Oh, wow.
44-room farmhouse where he lived alone, and according to the Irish Times, spent his days reading, quote, from his huge collection of Donald Duck comics and biographies of famous serial killers, end quote.
All right. No.
Yes. Analyze.
That's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack there. Now, we're both crime fanatics. And as far as I know,
heavy crime.
Neither of us have really committed any murderous crimes.
No. I said that so convincingly.
It's so, oh my God, that laugh I just did sounded so fake. I've never murdered anyone. That's I have murdered someone laugh. So we read a lot of crime, listen to a lot of crime stuff, and we've never done it. But the combination of crime stuff and Donald Duck cartoons makes me so nervous.
Yeah, that's a lot of red flags.
It's a lot of
red flags when, and not even like the cartoons, it's like the comics. Who the fuck reads Donald Duck comics?
Wow.
Dear Lord. All right. Well, when Armin grew tired of pantless ducks, he activated his dial-up internets and logged onto a website called the Cannibal Cafe.
Oh, no.
That's right. That's how innocent the internet was back then. It was just the Cannibal Cafe.
To be fair, if there was a podcast called The Cannibal Cafe, I would listen to it. But that's today when we know it's a joke.
Oh, well, it's never too late to go after your dreams.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
The Cannibal Cafe, which Wikipedia describes as a defunct forum for people with a cannibalism fetish.
Whoa.
Right. Yes, you see, Armin daydreamed about eating a whole human being since he was about 8 years old. According to the German prosecutor Marcus Kohler, I should say, Marcus, he fantasized about roasting his classmates at a very tender age, and with his mother passing, Armin now had the freedom to finally indulge in some midlife cannibalism.
Oh, man.
That's right.
It's so specific, too. Roasting.
Yes, we'll get into many very specific things, very specific details about this particular fetish.
Wonderful.
Yeah. On one of the cafe's message boards, Armin left a personal ad that I think outweirds all other personal ads ever. Quote, looking for a normally built 18 to 25-year-old to be slaughtered and then consumed.
Oh, my God.
End quote. Yes.
Oh, my God.
So, it seems the Cannibal Cafe wasn't just a place for cannibals. Sorry. I should not be laughing. This is terrible.
It's terrible.
Why am I a horrible person? I don't know.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating to learn about.
Yeah. It's so weird to say out loud.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like when I'm writing it, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. How can I possibly talk about this? But when I say it out loud, it's just like, I giggle.
Yeah.
I got the giggles.
Because I think it's kind of uncomfortable.
That could be it.
Yeah.
I mean, the words, the Cannibal Cafe, just, not just a place for cannibals. Which is a wonderful tagline. Maybe we should start that podcast.
Cannibal Cafe. Not just a place for cannibals.
That's right.
I love it. I mean, I don't, but anyways, tell me more.
Okay. So it was also a site for folks who had a fetish of being the victim.
Oh, no.
Essentially, this early version of Tinder brought them together.
Jeez.
They say there's always someone for somebody. And in March 2001, that someone for Armin was a 43-year-old named Bernd Brandes, an engineer from Berlin. Okay, I apologize if I say anyone's name wrong. So we're going to call Bernd.
Okay,
there you go.
Burned.
In response to the ad, Bernd wrote, quote, "I offer myself to you and will let you dine from my live body. Not butchery, dining, exclamation point."
Whoa.
End quote. The Irish Times reported the men exchanged ever-increasing explicit emails until March 9th, 2001, when they finally met in person.
Oh my God. I have so many questions, but I have a feeling you're going to answer a lot of them.
Oh, like, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so if you're going to eat this guy and this guy wants to be eaten, are we going to keep him alive? Like just take off parts?
Oh, that's a good question. We're going to get to that.
Okay,
absolutely.
Excellent.
We're going to get to the parts part.
Yeah.
I don't know what was in the extra emails.
Is it weird that I want to read all of them? Is it weird that
I bet they're somewhere. They got to be somewhere.
They've got to be.
I did not get into it.
I'm just so curious. I feel like I'd read 3 and I'd be like, I'm good. But what is that language? How did they start? You know, like hi, Bernd. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
You know?
Hope this email finds you well.
Hope this email finds you well. I'd like to eat you. Like,
so what should we start with? Let's start. Yes, okay. So March 9th, 2001, they finally met in person. Bernd, quote, sold everything he owned.
Oh my God.
Including his treasured sports car, wiped his computer hard drive, and bought a one-way ticket.
Wow.
End quote. That ticket was a train ticket to the station in Kassel, Germany, where Armin was waiting to pick him up.
Oh my God.
In the car with Armin, a bottle of sleeping pills he purchased at a chemist shop on the way there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. By the time the two men drove back to the farmhouse just west of Rottenburg, the real Rottenburg, it was evening. And you guessed it, they were hungry.
Oh my God.
Now, we know exactly what happened at this little dinner party because the men made a videotape of it.
Oh my God. This is what I don't want to see this. I don't want to see. Can you hear me like the uncomfortable laughing?
You're uncomfortable. You're like, you got that, you know how people smile, that wide smile when they're uncomfortable?
Yeah. You're
smiling really wide and your eyes are really wide.
I want to know more, but I'm also like, ugh.
You're also clutching your chest.
I am. I'm clutching my pearls right now. Tell me more.
Exactly. Now, for sure, I did not want to see or find or watch a damn thing, and I will not be sharing any pictures or videos either.
Love that decision.
Yes. All of the details in this episode are from Wikipedia, The Guardian, and the Irish Times, and I will merely use the written word to convey what the fuck.
Excellent. If there were ever a time to not have pictures,
yeah,
it's right now.
It is episode 16 of Well, That's Interesting. That's right.
Oh my God.
Now, the party started with Bernd swallowing 20 of those pills, and he chased it with a bottle of cough syrup.
Wait, are we trying to kill him?
He wasn't, no, I don't think, no.
Okay.
Not immediately.
Okay.
I think they were going for fatigue and numbness.
Okay. So that would only take a couple, all right, I'm not going to get into logistics.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
That's what he swallowed. That's what he took.
Here we go.
As fatigue began to set in, Bernd was recorded as saying, quote, "Now do it," end quote. It was the agreement for Armin to, how should I phrase this? Armin was to cut Bernd's penis off so they both could eat it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, just let that happen. Maybe that's why he took 20 of those pills.
God. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a 20 pills with cough decision.
Yeah.
Situation to be in. I think I'm going to need 20 pills and some cough syrup after this.
I should have done a trigger warning. Oh, well. Yes. They agreed to cut Burns' penis off so they both could eat it. Burns insisted Armin should attempt to bite his penis off, but, quoting Wikipedia, this did not work, and ultimately Armin used a knife to remove it, end quote.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Armin later told the police they decided to amputate while Burns lay in a bathtub, quote, so the blood could flow away.
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah. After the member was successfully detached, the two men tried to go old school cannibal and consume this part raw, but it was, in Burns' his own words about himself, quote, too chewy. Too chewy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both holding our foreheads right now.
Oh my God.
Yes, he tried to eat his own genitalia, and now what happened next, I'm going to straight up read from the wiki page.
Okay.
Armin, quote, then fried the penis in a pan with salt, pepper, wine, and garlic. He then fried it with some of Burns' fat, but by then it was too burnt to be consumed. He then chopped the penis up into chunks and fed it to his dog, end quote.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in summary, he burned the penis.
Yes.
So he gave it to the dog.
Right. Like what you do when you mess up when you mess up the scones. You know, remember when we made scones?
I do. I don't
We're
know
never going to make scones again.
We're never going to make scones again.
So,
I can't believe I'm saying this, but
yeah.
Please go on.
Okay. Now, this all took a bit of time, and by now, Burns was bleeding heavily and losing consciousness for good.
Yeah.
Armin ran a bath, and while Burns soaked, bleeding to death quietly, Armin passed the time by reading a Star Trek novel. I don't know which one.
What?
Yeah. Yep. He was reading.
These people are...
Yeah, these two guys. The whole event took about 4 hours, and by morning, Burns was pretty much dead. The final moments of the tape show Armin stabbing Burns in the neck, just to be certain. Afterwards, it's reported the body was placed on a meat hook, where Armin dismembered the corpse into sections, and then placed the bagged pieces in his freezer. Over the next 10 months, yes, 10 months, Armin ate approximately 44 pounds of Burns. Quoting The Guardian, behind bars, Armin told detectives that he had consumed his victim with a bottle of South African red wine, had got out his best cutlery, and decorated his dinner table with candles. With every bite, my memory of him grew stronger, he said. He also added that Burns tasted like pork when cooked with a little bit of olive oil and garlic.
Wow.
So, yeah. End scene.
End scene.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to react.
My heart. The part that is hurting me the most is the fact that I think Burns wanted to be alive for a little bit more of this.
Probably. I mean, I don't think you really know.
And I feel like Armin didn't put in the efforts to keeping him alive.
You might say this is a little one-sided. Yeah.
Is it weird that my biggest takeaway is that the guy who also sold all of his shit to do this didn't get to hang out for very long?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think okay, we're actually going to... Okay, that's put a pin in that.
Okay, I'm putting a pin in it.
Put a pin in that. Put a pin in thinking things through. Let's put a pin in that for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Where are we? Okay, by all purposes, right? The night went as planned.
Okay.
And since it was an air quotes success, Armin decided to advertise on the old Cannibal Cafe message board for another victim. Or another volunteer, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, another volunteer. In fact, Armin met a total of 5 other men.
What?
Yes, but none of them went through with the sacrificial dinner. So there you go, talking about thinking it through.
So they weren't eaten at all. They
were not eaten.
They would just go there and be like, never mind.
Yeah, something happened where they decided not to, and they left, and Armin didn't do anything to force anybody. So.
That's really. I was going to say that's nice, but
nice. That's so pleasant.
Our standards for men are so low. It's just.
He didn't eat them. Yay.
Wow. No, it's not standards for men. It's standards for cannibals, I think.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Our standards for cannibals are so low.
Very gentlemanly of Armin. Now, those men never approached authorities about the cafe or any of the ads. It was a German student who alerted the cops about this website. Armin had used his real name in the ad, so it didn't take long for detectives to find him. Finally, in December of 2002, he was detained, but not yet charged. You see, the cops had a wee bit of a technical issue. At the time of the death, cannibalism wasn't a crime in Germany.
Oh my God!
Also, Armin's lawyers argued that Bernd wanted to die, so if their client be charged with anything, it should be for, quote, killing on demand, or something along the lines of euthanasia. So that was their defense.
Yeah. And there's a whole video of it.
And there was a 4-hour video, yeah.
Wow.
In January 2004, 3 years after Bernd's death, Armin went on trial for manslaughter. At trial, Armin, quote, told the court that he had felt lonely and neglected as a child after his father walked out on the family. He had fantasized about having a blonde, younger brother who he could keep forever by consuming him. That was his
I don't know if that was a good court move.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're a lawyer, email us.
Email us. wellthatsinterestingpod@gmail.com.
That's right.
What do you think of this?
What do you think of that defense? Continuing with the reporting by The Guardian's Luke Harding, quote, in his pre-trial interview, the cannibal said that after eating Burns, he felt much better and more stable. Burns spoke in English, Armin said, and since eating him, his English had improved. End quote. So that's how you learn. That's how you learn.
We did do the episode on organs.
That is true. There you go.
Maybe if you
organ donation.
Organ donation, and how when you get a new organ, you get the traits of the donor.
That is a thing. That is a thing. Nobody
and technically Bernd donated all of his organs.
Yes, he did.
And Armin digested them, which is another way of okay. Anyways.
Yeah, we're it's a slightly different donation.
Very different donation.
Slightly different donation. The court found Armin guilty of manslaughter and sentenced him to 8.5 years, which, needless to say, this didn't sit well with prosecutors. Mm-mm. A year later, in 2005, okay, so this all took place in 2001 and now in 2005, they appealed his sentence and argued he should be, quote, convicted of murder because he killed for sexual gratification, a motive proved by his having videotaped the crime. The court ruled that the original trial had ignored the significance of the video in disproving the argument that Armin only killed because he had been asked to kill, end quote.
Very good, very interesting point.
Yeah, that is from the Wikipedia page. A psychologist noted that his fantasies of eating young men's bodies might be too strong for Armin to ignore, and he may reoffend.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that guy's going to try to eat more people.
Yeah, I mean, he did meet up with 5 other guys. 5 other guys from that website.
Very true. Very true.
Then, in 2006, 5 years after the dinner party to end all dinner parties, Armin was sentenced to life.
Oh, God.
Since his imprisonment, Armin began writing a memoir and has become a vegetarian.
Hilarious. Yes. Hilarious.
It is in his professional opinion that about 800 cannibals live in Germany. The end. That's
Oh my God. I don't know what to do with any of this information. I'm just gonna, I was about to say digest it, but that word doesn't.
She did it.
Ah!
She did it.
I did it.
She did it.
I did it.
We're all just gonna sit with that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell your friends about
Tell your friends.
the cannibal from Rottenburg.
Yeah, tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about Well, That's Interesting. DM us at Well, That's Interesting on Instagram. And Well, That's Interesting Pod on Instagram. Email us, wellthatsinterestingpod@gmail.com. Tell us what you think.
Tell us about your cannibalism stories.
Oh my God, please do.
Do you have them?
Have you met one?
Have you met one?
Are you one? We won't tell.
Even inter-animal cannibalism. Did your pet eat another pet? Something. Anything.
Very interesting.
It's all interesting. Yeah. I guess that's it. What do you think?
Yeah.
We're good?
I think we're good.
Let's go eat some fries.
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Stay interesting, everybody.
Please do.